Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to FPL. Don't panic. Little bit of a unplanned video. This one, just back in Auckland. I'm going to get this one out quickly, so that it may be of some use to you if you are thinking of wildcarding for game week 30. And I have to say, overnight and on the road, and also listening to some of the other content providers, and just sort of thinking things through. Done a complete 360 on this, a complete 360. I think, even if your team's in reasonable shape, I mean, most of you will have lost a Haaland or a Wood, so you're going to have to potentially use a transfer anyways. Save the transfer. I don't think there's too much benefit to waiting for 31 now. I've done a complete 360 on this. Thinking it through, there's not going to be too much difference between a wildcard 30 and a wildcard 31. I've played with a few, and really there is so little difference. But what you're going to get is the upside of doing a wildcard in game week 30 and taking advantage of some pretty tasty fixtures, let's face it, and pretty tasty fixtures for game week 31 as well. The downside, actually, no, sorry, the other upside, I should say, is in going in 30 is, and the downside if you go 31, there's a lot of people making transfers now. Prices are going to change, and that's only going to get worse. And you're going to have the likes of your Isaacs and your Marmouches and your Matetas and a few others, indeed, potentially even Salahs if you're buying Salah back, because a lot of people sold Salah out and they're bringing them back in now. They're going to start going up in price. So what's going to cost you X amount this week is going to be X plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 by the time you get to 31. It might start to put things out of reach. So I put a wild card together. I like the look of it. It actually scares me a little when I look at some of the potential numbers that these teams could be doing, because I obviously do not, as we know, have my wild card or my free hit, so I'm having to play through, and I hope to God I get away with it. And looking at this, I'm very, very jealous. There's some, and I'm sure you're looking at other options, but one of my subscribers did ask me to do a wild card, and the lad I'm working with on his team, my guy that's doing the training with me to knock off the pies and the pints from Ireland, is thinking he maybe should wildcard 30, and you know what? I'm tending to agree with him now. Let's have a look at this. It may not be perfect. I've pretty much been thinking about this on the road and just, sort of just throwing a few thoughts into my dictaphone. I'll put this together. This is my first throwing of this together. But quite often when I do go shopping and I see a pair of shoes and I wander around every other bloody shop, and I end up coming back to the first ones that I saw. Quite often it is the best. I like the look of this. I like the look of this. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully it helps you if you are thinking of wildcarding. But yes, just to reiterate, I think go with the wildcard if you've got it, and I'll talk a little bit about and bank those transfers, save your transfers, because they will come in very, very useful. The more you can bank on the transfers, because we will almost certainly be having a double game week in 36 for at least two teams, I think. And there's going to be another blank and another double, which I think could well be 35, 36. So I think go now, bank the transfers, optimize as much as we can, try and either play out in the blank 34 with your transfers, saving your free hit. That's going to be another one to negotiate. But I think for now, I think go with it. Complete 360. Let's have a look. Tell me what you think. Start with the baseline team. I'll give you some of my thoughts around this. We may, as I go through this, because it is going to be the usual Des conscious flow of thought. It could be that we spot some errors here, but I think I've thought this through reasonably well. This gets us off to a good start, I think. I've done it in FPL Hub because I can sort of just look at a bit of the projected fixtures as we go through it. That's showing predicted points in FPL Hub of 70.6. Generally find FPL Hub's not too far off my own when I do my own projections. I obviously haven't run this through my own spreadsheet, but as I look at this team, I think there's at least 70 there, to be honest with you, when you look at those fixtures with Raya in goal. Now I brought Raya in because he will have the double in 34. 34, so it's probably a little bit expensive on the goalkeepers. There are ways that you can trim some costs in the squad if you can't quite stretch to it. But yeah, I think Raya in goal. Um, Obviously, the Arsenal defence is always likely to keep clean sheets, and you can sort of, I guess, rotate with Pope as you want. But the key thing is, I think, is that Raya will have that double in 34. So the other thing to note here early in what I'm talking about is bench boosters. None of the doubles, the double in 34 only has 4 teams. You're only going to be able to get 12 doublers at a max out. So in terms of that, there may be other opportunities to bench boost, and there's one in particular that I quite like in this team I've got together. So 33 is a good bench boost opportunity, but I think 32 will come up fairly. I think it was 32 comes up quite nice as well. So that's something else to think about, because you're only going to end up with 11. Sorry, you're not. Yeah, the way it works out, you're not going to have the maximum you're going to have is 12 doublers anyways, and you still gonna want to have your Isaacs and Salahs in your team. At least I will, because they're likely to outscore double players anyways. Anyway, let's go through this. I'm sure we'll spot a few errors along the way, but I don't think it looks too bad. It's not a bad start. Yeah, and Gavardio, Gabriel, and Munoz. They're all there. They've all got doubles up and coming. But for this game week 30, again, that's a really, really good looking defence. And my turtle has decided to become extremely active just as I start to talk. Always does it. Hope it's not too distracting, guys. Salah, pick your poison there in terms of captaincy. Salah, obviously, with his which is going to be, I reckon surveys I've looked at with losing Haaland to injury. On that, yeah, Haaland's definitely heard the presser, and yeah, he's out for a bit, I think. So don't be scared about selling him now, and obviously that releases a whole bunch of cash to do something like this team. But Salah, yeah, I have the captaincy on him in this. In my own team at the moment, because I feel I have to take some punts, I'm going with Marmoush, depending on whether you're chasing rank, trying to protect rank. Again, make your choices there. Not averse to a punt on Marmoush, or indeed Mateta in this game week. Really good fixtures. You got Murphy in there as a. You could save money if you need budget. You could go down to Sar. Don't dislike that at all. But I do remember last year, it was this time of year, and they've already started doing it, haven't they, Palace? They just like an end of season team. They just find their feet at the end of the season, because last year, in the last 10 to 12 games, they were magnificent, and you had Eze, Mateta, and Sar all hauling week in, week out. So if you did want to lose Minaz. Again, not averse to that. If you did want to try and squeeze out the triple Crystal Palace attack, yet don't mind it too much. I tell you, the one area of concern I do have, I know they've got the double Crystal Palace, and I thought long and hard about this, but then I just thought about the quality of Mateta and Eze. I thought, no, let's go with it for the double. Their double, the second double, it's not that easy. They're tricky fixtures. What is it, City and whatever it's yeah. But I think I'd still go with it if I was wildcarding. I think I would. You've obviously got your triple Newcastle there as well when we get to 32. But yeah, with Isak up front, good fixtures, and Mateta and Marmoush. That team looks really good. You'll note I've got Pope on the bench. That serves a bench boost purpose. Or it also serves a purpose that he is a playing goalkeeper for blank 34, depending how you're going through that. If you're trying to manage through with transfers, or if you're trying to manage through with a free hit, then you maybe you want to change him, so you could save some money there as well, depending on how you're negotiating blank 34 with a free hit or transfers. If you're doing it with transfers, handy to have a good playing goalkeeper on the bench as well. You get that bench boost, and you can obviously have a good fixture for 34 if you're trying to just build your team up. to get something reasonable out with transfers for 34. Milenkovich, Milenkovich is in there. He will, I think, have a fixture in 34, not confirmed, unlikely, very unlikely to be doubling in 33, although they've not been announced. It wouldn't surprise me with the FA if they said, hey, you just play those fixtures and you got to, just got to have to play them in 33. But I think their fixture will remain in 34. That's what's projected at the moment, anyways. And then you got Konza. He can just sit on the bench for a wee while, and he's another doubler to come in for 33. Don't mind the look of that at all. It's FPL Hub's projecting that at 70 points. I think it could be quite a bit more given those fixtures. But we will see. It's not a bad start. Great fixtures, and I think it'll be hard to put out a team that looks better than that. Right. That's how we look then. But of course, a bench boost isn't just for Christmas. A bench boost is for life, or certainly for 4 or 5 fixtures. So let's have a look at how this is shaping up in 31. I'm having to use 2 screens here, so bear with me. 31. Gain looking pretty good. Slightly lower projected points on FPL Hub. Not sure I 100% agree with the Hub optimized team, but I guess would you want to drop Clivert? Maybe not. Eze, maybe not. But we're bringing Sackett in at this point. Just thinking like Murphy. Yeah. I think we'd probably try and put Murphy in there. I think I probably would. Who would we drop out? Not sure. I'd probably be weirdly maybe even Marmouche going on the bench and Murphy coming in for a 5-man midfield. Have a play with that. There's going to be some benching issues. There are going to be some benching headaches. Because we're obviously trying to build this for bench boost and have players coming in for doubles, etc. With some good rotations. Pick your poison there. Benching headache. You're going to have those with this. Just no way around it. But again, as a team, doesn't look bad. It's showing 66.5 points. Some great fixtures in there. Again, I think you'd certainly have a look at Isak for the captaincy there, wouldn't you? I would, if you're trying to go a little bit different. But again, that looks really, really good, I think. Decent projected points. And team looking good. Not a lot to say there. That's game week 31. You've come out of 30, gone into 31. Everything's looking fine and rosy as far as I'm concerned. And just as I say, just to make some of your benching and captaincy decisions. Right, first big one. I like this. This does look pretty good. Now that's projecting 100 points. You've obviously got your triple Palace, and you've got your triple Newcastle in there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, looking good. I think that's a really nice. I think that's a really decent bench boost opportunity as well there. Rare, yeah, got a fancy decent chance of the clean sheet there. Clivert, yeah, you've got a fancy he could get a return, maybe 2. Milenkovich, great fixture for the clean sheet, always capable of attacking return. And Konza, yeah, that looks pretty good as well. Southampton, really good bench boost opportunity, that one. Really, really nice bench boost opportunity. Can comfortably see the 100 pointers there. I think I'm really this team scares me now for this one because I'm not going to be. I'll be close-ish to it, but I won't be this close. And with the bench boosters coming in on something like that, that would worry me because I don't have a bench boost, obviously. This is the sort of team that could cause me a lot of pain. Like that a lot for game week 32. Right, then we get to big double 33. So ignore the projections on this because FPL Hub, obviously, they've got the fixtures up in shade, but they can't project them yet. So it's sort of what they think is going to happen. We make 1 transfer on my team at this point. You can optimize a wee bit more should you choose to. This is one that I'm not 100% set on. Because then this is the big double. We've obviously been trying to get through those first 3. You question clearly becomes at this point, do you make 1 or 2 transfers? If you're free hitting and you're built up at this stage, it's sort of 3, 4, 5 transfers, I suspect we would make. Now, I've gone, yeah, that's better. So that's just showing our projected points of 65. That's not really taking into account the doublers, so I suspect that they're looking more like the 120, 130 points there. I'd be seriously tempted at the bench boost here again. You've got Pope, decent fixture. You've got to have Konza on the bench with a double. You've got Kluivert and you've got Milenkovich there with a decent enough double as well. Total bench boost territory. And then the question becomes, do you make a transfer? I've gone with Savinho. I like the look of that. Again, if you're looking at the price in there, if the price is not working, remember Eze can be sour further down when you actually set the team up in the first place. But that looks pretty good, Mateta, Marmouche, with the really with their doubles. Isak, I just think Isak's capable of scoring as much in one game as a doubler. Who would you put in for him? And of course, remember, if you are playing through 34 with transfers, Isak does come up with a really nice fixture in 34 as well. But whether I was doing that or not, honestly, I think I still have Isak in there. Eze. Salah is of course Salah. Savinho. You can look at some other options there, but I think I like the option of taking a risk on Savinho over a double. I think that's where I would go. Saka at this point should be up and running and fully firing, coming in with a double for Arsenal. We've got Gabriel, Gavardi, Ol, and Munoz, always their doubles. Ray in there with the double. I like the look of this. Yeah, for what it's worth, that's where I go, and I'm about to try and talk my young protege, Jason, into actually running with this team. And we would actually get a chance to review it. That could... Turtle says yes. Remember the turtle toss when I've got a coin flip decision? Turtle toss. Turtle says yes. I'm going to get Jason to go with this. We'll actually be able to maybe have a review of this in the coming weeks and put me pride on the line. That's it, guys. Fairly quick. Anything you disagree with in there, do let me know. I don't think that looks too bad. You also come out, I haven't projected that far forward, you come out in 30, 35, in reasonably decent shape if you do your free hit in 34, and hopefully you'll have banked up a few transfers as well as we hit what would be 35, 36 potential blank and double. There is going to be something is going to happen. There's going to be a fairly small but significant enough to cause pain blanks in 35, 36. I'll leave it at that. I hope that was one of my more useful videos. I hope you took screenshots. If you got anything out of that or going with it, love to know how it goes for you. As much as I want to beat you all, I do like it when I give a little bit of advice and it goes well and you guys crank it. Take care, have fun, play your own game, don't panic. I will see you on the flip side of game week 30. Squeaky bum time. Take care. Bye-bye.